West of house. You are standing in an open field west of a white house with a boarded front door. There is a small mailbox here. This is the first piece of text you see when you load up Zork, a 1977 text adventure game. It's an iconic opening that sets the stage for the wonderfully weird game of Zork. The game is trying to be a tabletop RPG with a dungeon master sitting across from you. But in Zork, the parser is the dungeon master. The developers of Zork were MIT researchers. They wanted something more than the simple one or two word commands that they were used to in the text adventure games they'd played. In earlier text adventures, even simple commands like use lamp could fail. The parser in Zork knew that a leaflet could be in a mailbox. This shift from simple one or two word commands to complex sentences allowed for a level of physical logic that gets closer to the freedom of a tabletop campaign. The game wants you to open the mailbox. The mailbox is the first thing you should try to interact with in the game. It sets the expectation for the level of interaction you can get out of the rest of the game. You can try to attack the mailbox, eat it, or a plethora of other actions, and many of the things you will try will have a response. Knowing how much you can do in the world changes how you're going to attempt to solve the puzzles. But to interact with the world, you must understand it. The manual of the game presents itself as a history book checked out from a library. It describes the last 3 centuries of the world Zork inhabits. The history of the Great Underground Empire is about excessiveness. It talks about rulers wanting to expand so aggressively that they built great underground caverns, or building giant dams that aren't used for anything. One ruler even had plans to construct a new continent in the middle of the ocean in his own visage. I honestly think that the manual tells you that you should just try things in the game until it works out. And Zork is set in the remnants of this great underground empire. In Zork, you are an adventurer and treasure hunter. You solve puzzles and take treasure up to a trophy case. You get points for each treasure you pick up, and each time you put them in the trophy case. The puzzles range from digging a hole to performing elaborate rituals to enter the land of the dead. Each puzzle is a test at your imagination, and nothing is truly off limits. What is it like to play today? To account for size constraints on floppy disks, the original Zork from 1977 was split into 3. I ended up only playing Zork 1 for reasons that may become clear. To be frank, I played the game using the official pre-made map. If you have played text games before, you may take issue with this, as creating your own map is part of the experience, but I found using this map was extremely necessary. The paths are not straightforward at all. Undoing your movement actions, in theory, should take you back to your starting location. Unfortunately, this is often enough not the case. There is no indication that the paths are in straight lines. Even a simple piece of flavor text to tell you what happened would help immensely. Even just something like your character rounds a corner to the north would have helped a lot. And similarly, the puzzles can be extremely obtuse. Some puzzles are simply trial and error. You must try random things and hope they work. For example, the dam controls have 4 buttons, and only one of them allows you to progress the puzzle. There's no hint on what button to press, and you have to try every button until you maybe get an inkling of what to do. Another one is that you have to open a buoy. As someone who grew up near the ocean, I've never heard of opening a buoy before, and would never have figured this out without a walkthrough. Thankfully, this isn't every puzzle, but it's hard to know if you're missing a hint or not. But okay, enough with the complaining. When the game is good, it's actually good. There are definitely a few puzzles that give enough hints to help you through each of them. The Cyclops looks hungry, the pile of plastic has a valve for the air pump, and more. The different puzzles can be pretty cool. Navigating the coal mine without blowing yourself up is fun and interesting. Rafting down the river in the boat is cool and engaging since you don't know when to get off. The witty and funny flavor text rounds out the world and adds a lot to the game. Zork is a classic case of older games being hard to increase playtime. There's a trope that older games are extremely difficult, and Zork is no exception. Even though you could beat Zork in less than 30 minutes if you know what you're doing, in a blind playthrough it would likely take you upwards of 10 to 20 hours. This isn't the fault of the devs, the systems at the time were simply too weak and didn't have enough storage to make larger games. But all in all, Zork as a game from the 70s is actually pretty good. I could imagine myself at the time inviting friends over and spend hours figuring out the game and having lots of fun with it. Therefore, I think Zork is solidly in the category of games that were great at the time with all of their limitations and are very influential, but unfortunately just don't hold up today. Thanks for watching. Next time on WikiQuest, I'll be playing the iconic Space Invaders.